My coffee friends. Hey guys, if you are watching this video later on, definitely know you are watching a live video. Hey guys, my name is Tony. I am, needless to say, a coffee geek. And if you are a coffee geek like me and you like to make espresso, have some fun, goof around with coffee, know about the latest budget ways to do things, you're in the right spot, my friends, for sure. You guys, I'm all about finding kind of the budget ways to have some fun and make some coffee. There's just no other way to say it. I am a certified spendthrift, you know. So, anyway, guys, if you're like me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I like to go live anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. This week I've had a very, very, very busy week. In my day job, I'm a department head of an insurance company, so I tend to get real busy. But guys, I always like to just kind of hang out with y'all, and that's what this is all about. This is really very unscripted, unscheduled. So if you hear dogs barking, wife being like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Just know none of this is planned. This is truly come hang out with me. Let's make some coffee. So, guys, I actually, like I said, it's not planned. So, there's a couple things that I kind of have in the works that I want to record this weekend. One of them is doing a full review on this really awesome portable coffee espresso machine I got. And y'all, this is not the only portable system that I have kind of in the works. I kind of feel it's kind of funny to show this to you, but I have another one. And y'all, these things are very similar. They're made by two different companies. And I'm going to be doing a really in-depth video on what it's like using them. If I feel crazy, I might even open one of them today on this video and give it a shot, because I have not tried these yet. And I'm really excited, because this is why I'm excited, y'all. They have an adapter that fits on both of them where you could grind and use your own coffee. And it looks really cool. I'm going to try to find that for you guys and show it to you in just a bit. Today, we're going to be doing some coffee on the Gemini 307L. This is the Powerhouse using a E61 group head. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and use this setup. I might actually swap this one for another. Yeah, I think I am. So this is my norm core. I'm going to clean it up a bit. We're going to use the norm core today, and this is an a IMS 20 gram, and this is a new norm core straight through basket and precision, and it's 18 grams. That's the big difference. So we're going to be using that today. I'm going to give it a little clean here, make sure it's nice and clean before we do that. And then we're going to be brewing up some Good as Gold. Got a new bag of Donut Store just waiting to be opened up. So that's actually their signature blend. I'm a big fan. It's a true medium. I think it's a really good one. If you guys have a good coffee roaster that's readily available, like on Amazon, please let me know. Even if it's not on Amazon, anywhere you get it. But I love finding stuff on Amazon that's really good quality, that's a good price. Like I said before, I'm always about trying to find a really good deal. What I really love about this machine is it is a boiler system. And so I'm putting my portafilter in there so it gets nice and hot. So if you guys are just joining me now, there's a chance I open up this bad boy and we try it out. So this one, there's a lot of folks have had this, and I've been seeing a lot of videos come out about it. This is the COTGCO. It is a mobile metal espresso maker. And I've been seeing it really compared to the Outden. And I really love the idea of being able to make coffee on the go. Hey, Gary, Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hey guys, always give a shout out. I like to give shout outs to those who are watching live. If you didn't watch my last live video, I went ahead and unboxed this. This scale has been really cool. What I really love about it is, uh, I believe it's T-Peer. T-Peer is how you say the name of the brand. Here it is right here. Uh, Typeri. Yeah, so they're actually a company that makes professional commercial size scales, and now they're starting to get in the coffee business. And this one's really cool because it actually has like a flow meter. So while you're pulling your shots of espresso, you can see the flow that's coming in. So that is super cool. Why I was kind of getting really excited, I was just seeing it. Yeah, I just dropped it. With those portable um, espresso machines, this one is really cool because what I've got stoked about is it has an accessory, and I want to show you guys the accessory. So a lot of these like portable machines, they'll do pods, but this is really cool, okay? So in here is a chamber for grinding your own espresso, and they even give you, when you get this, a nice little puck screen. And I noticed I've been really dying to use one of my tampers, and I'm just trying to find it right now. Goodness gracious, the moment I'm about ready to use it, suddenly, oh, here it is. I was hiding. So this tamper, I was hoping to fit in my flare, but it's just a little bit too big. But it actually is about the right size for this. So it's actually a little bit smaller, but it should work well. The company actually sells a tamper and a funnel. So as soon as I saw that, I got pretty excited. So we might try this later on if we have some time. Yeah, guys, this is completely unscripted. I am 100% live. Just goofing around, making some coffee. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Awesome. Hello, Brad. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to get some, I'm going to open up this bag of Good as Gold. And let's start with that. Let's pull a shot. And yeah, let's make some coffee. And then maybe we'll open up that mobile espresso unit afterwards. So again, this thing is super cool. Right now, this goes on Amazon for about 30 bucks, this scale here. And I've been digging it just because the biggest thing is the size, and then it has a flow meter. I think that is really awesome. So let's go ahead and open up this new bag. Good. Here it is. Yeah, I've been a big fan, guys, of Good as Gold. They're a roaster that's been around since 1969, and they are completely available on Amazon. So if you're in the States, you can pretty much get it anywhere, no matter where you're at in the country. I don't know if they're available in Canada and other parts of the world, but I hope they are because they're really good. They're a really good roaster. And I'm always on the hunt for trying to find somebody who's going to have a fresh roast and put the roast date on there. They do put their roast date on their bags. And to me, that means a lot because that's what really matters. You know, when you have coffee, I get a lot of folks who reach out to me, and I'm really happy they do. And they'll say, oh, I have the machine you have. I try to do the exact same techniques, but I'm having a lot of issues getting Crema or getting good results. And a lot of times it really kind of comes down to how fresh your coffee is. The quality of your coffee really does matter. I've said it before, I said it earlier, I'm pretty cheap. I do wear that badge a little bit with honor. I'm always about finding the best deal possible, but it's also really important. The best coffee you're going to find is going to be from a local roaster. Now, that might be your local roaster that you find in the city you live in, which you definitely should visit a good roastery or a good cafe in your local area. Big advocate for supporting local businesses. But there's a lot of local roasters these days that are on marketplaces like Amazon. So that's what's really cool, and that's what they are. So they are, it's kind of like you get that local roaster charm, but it could be delivered to your doorstep. I live in Central Florida, and I kind of live remotely. I'm definitely in the boonies. A couple weeks ago, we had some bears that came up into our backyard, and they're sweet bears, but scared the poop out of our little dachshunds. And that's when you know you live in the country. When Yogi Bear comes to visit you, and Boo Boo, and they bring everybody. you know, that's a good sign you live in the country. And we definitely live out in sticks. So even though I have local roasters I can go to plenty here in Central Florida, it's really nice to be able to get someone on Amazon like this, and have good coffee. There's no other way to say it. So definitely check these guys out. I think they're awesome. Let me know in the comments below if you have any recommendations of good roasters you've had good luck with. It's kind of the main reason why I started this channel. I like to connect, and I really love it when someone gives me a good suggestion on something to do, or like something to buy, especially if you know a good deal, because I'm all about those deals. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do some WDT. And last time I pulled this, good as gold, I went 2 course, and then I had to kind of dial it in on my last live video. I'm going to be using my Chardor 64 millimeter flat burr grinder. I'm going to use that again, and then maybe we'll pull out the Star Seeker or the Hybrid later on. But I want to go ahead and go a tiny bit finer, not by much, on this. And I'm going to show you guys right here. I am using SP burrs, and these are flat burrs. I do find that they are way more sensitive than going conical. Conical definitely is more forgiving. My other grinders, I feel like there's a lot of, not play, but a lot of different movement I can go into it. The main purpose of upgrading your burr set like this is it is going to be more fine-tuning capability. So that's definitely what I'm getting, and that's good. But with that, sometimes you got to dial it in. Dialing it in can be a must, for sure. Okay. I'm going to go direct to portafilter. Okay. Nice. Again, this is the Normcore straight edge 18 gram. Just got it. Did a video on that if you want to go check it out. Haven't had any espresso today. My son did make me some cool coffee on the ratio. I've got him hooked. I kind of laugh when I say this a bit. So my son's becoming kind of the coffee kid. He's 17, and he's getting into coffee like his old man, and more so every day. We're a homeschool family, so, and I work at home, so the family's always with each other. I don't know, you're set up at home. But he asked me the other day, we're at a diner, and he said, what's some of the best diner coffee you've ever had? Now, honestly, if you're in the States, I think of Dunkin' Donuts. Some people might, what, Dunkin' Donuts? You're nuts. But for classic American medium roast coffee, you can't beat it. But I do have to say, there's one coffee that I absolutely love, and I understand why millions and millions of people love it. And I don't know, in the comments, y'all might think it's a sacrilege. Tim Horton. I love Canada. I love my friends in Canada. I went to Bible college out in Southern California, and a lot of my Bible college friends were from Canada. My wife's a writer. We love Anna Green Gables so much, we named our son after one of the characters. So that kind of tells you something. But I got him because it was so cool to find. I found Tim Hortons whole bean coffee, and he actually went ahead and pulled out his timer today, and we made some Tim Hortons on the ratio, and it was awesome. So definitely cool. Again, there's the dogs. I don't know if you can hear them barking, but yeah, definitely live, y'all. Definitely live. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do some WDT. It's probably an Amazon guy knocking on the door. Oh my goodness. 3 little doggies. It's probably just my wife. And they're like, hey, come get us. Yeah, so like I was saying, I love a good, I might get a little fancy pants every now and then. I love my good single origin. I love specialty coffee. And I know that it's kind of funny. I'm using Donut Store and I'm using Good as Gold. But that's kind of what made me think about it is sometimes, you know, um, we all get kind of caught up, those of us who are into coffee, into like we get the FOMO. We got to have the greatest and latest or what so and so in social media said. And I know that I'm kind of a part of that too in a weird way. And I am I'm a person that loves a good gimmicky thing. Trust me, I'll try everything. But what I'm saying is sometimes it's just about the simple cup of coffee, the simple enjoying a good cup that really just makes a big difference. You know, I might have shared this in one of my other videos. I recently was introducing him to some Latino coffee that is from the Puerto Rican community. It's kind of sold a lot in places like New York and all that. And it was coffee my grandmother used. And we're Mexican American, but we would use a certain brand of coffee. And it was just really cool because I got to share it with my kiddo and have a good memory. I'm telling you, that's what coffee's all about. So there's good specialty coffee. There's great, coffee gadgets and gizmos and things that we all get into. But I'm going to encourage everybody, enjoy some good classic coffee every now and then. And you might not be in the States. Find that coffee in your region. One of the ways that I really got into coffee was I had a great friend growing up in Southern California. His uncle owned a Vietnamese restaurant. And I love Vietnamese coffee. And he actually, one of my first memories was getting to roast coffee with his uncle. So it was pretty cool. His uncle roast coffee like right in front of us, and we drank it. It was really neat. So cool coffee memory. I'm all about that. Okay, so let's go ahead. I want to show you guys this awesome scale. Again, in the middle is an actual flow rate meter, basically. A readout, which is really cool because I do have scales that do that, but they're dye fluid scales and they're over $100. This is like the $30 scale, and I just love the fact that it has it, baked right into it. So that's crazy. I'm doing 18 grams in my 18-gram basket, Norm Core, Gemini. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this. See where my rates are at, my flow rate. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's coming out too fast. That is way too dang fast. Oh, bummer. Yeah, that was not pretty. Now, again, guys, remember I was just saying I was using Good as Gold just the other day, and I was using Nicaraguan single origin. So the different beans, these beans right here that I have from Good as Gold, these Donut Store, I know that they're not as fresh. So this is one where I would definitely go finer, still crema, all that. But I'm telling you, that shot was way too fast. So that's a bummer. And we'll do it again. There's no other way to say it. Not going to let this go to waste. So I'm going to have a little taste. Believe it or not bad. Not what I want, though. But not bad. Interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll do this one more time. We'll do it the right way, y'all. Do this one the right way. Okay. Bummer. That was a bummer. I might actually swap the beans out on this one. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's try this again. And I'm going to show you something. I'm going to swap the beans out, and I'm going to show you the difference. I'm actually not going to change the grind setting because I know that's what it is. I know for a fact that's what it is. And this is that proof that, you got to dial in. And that's the one thing I try to tell everybody all the time when anyone kind of comes at me and says, hey, so, I tried this, that, and the other, and I didn't get results. Sometimes there's a lot of variables in coffee. One of those could be the age, obviously. That's probably the biggest variable. But there could also be oil contents. And the newer beans are going to have more You know, it's going to have that more, they're not going to be dry. That's all it comes down to. But there is other things, you know. Um, Coffee is like grapes. There's a terroir. It depends on, you know, where something was done and all that stuff. So, and I did realize one of the things too is I am using uh, a different basket. And maybe in this basket, it's not like the basket I was just using, not like the IMS basket. I was actually just kind of thinking about that. That could be kind of another scenario to kind of put into play here. So this is what I'm gonna do. Hopefully I prove my point. And I don't have egg on my face. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. I have my other basket right here. Yeah, that just looks terrible. There was water on it when I pulled it up. Yeah, that's not good. No bueno. Okay, definitely not good. Sorry. Goodness gracious. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to my 20 gram IMS basket, and I'm gonna put about 19.5 in. Okay, and then we're gonna do that with this. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's put a little water on this really quick. There we go. Just get a little hot while I'm getting this ready. Gotta get it hot. Okay. And happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday. I am so happy it is the weekend. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video about those portable espresso machines this weekend. I'm going to be comparing both of them, and I'm pretty stoked. I've never tried them. They just came the other day, so I'm really excited to give it a shot. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and I'm using my Normcore puck screen. Okay. So let's go ahead. Got this a little bit hotter anyway. All right, y'all. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in one more time. So this is the Chardor 64 millimeter flat burr grinder with the upgraded multi-purpose burrs. And I did not change the grind setting. So I'm hoping, like I said, I'm going to get the better results because these are different beans, different basket. I'm telling you guys, if you ever get bummed out making espresso, just remember, espresso can be complicated. It is one of the easiest things in the world as far as, you know, you put hot water through wonderful coffee, you know, and you get magic. But on the other hand, there's so many different variables. So don't ever get bummed out. Because it's kind of easy to do, guys. Definitely really easy to do. I know that I remember the first time I ever pulled an espresso shot in a cafe, it wasn't the greatest, you know? And I was all bummed out. And I remember my manager that was helping me out at the time was like, no, that's cool. Like, you get to try it again. Get that opportunity, you know? That's what it's all about. You're going to learn. And I'm going to tell you guys, don't ever beat yourself up when it comes to that. I've been there. And a lot of people are. And everyone kind of, you know, you ask yourself, oh, did I do that right? Or what's going on? But you learn by trying. You know, that's kind of the big thing. And that is... And you also learn by watching. I love watching people like Han go live. There's a lot of folks on YouTube that do awesome lives. I know from time to time, Tom's Coffee Corner goes live. You know, all that. I mean, there's tons of good stuff out there, guys. For sure. Okay. Let's do some distribution here. Love this thing. Look at that. Smooth. How smooth that is. Okay. Yeah, that's one of my favorite distributors. Okay. Love this short guy here too. Awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and put that puck screen right up top. And let's see if this gives us more of what we're looking for. I hope so. I said I don't want to be egg on my face here, but hey, that might happen. You're watching a live video. Anything can happen when you're live. For sure. All right. Okay. Oh, there we go. So right about 10, so a little bit higher pressure-wise than I want to be, but that's okay. I can see that flow rate at 29 and 21. Okay, let's stop it there. 34 and 21 seconds. I'll take that. Okay, and I dig the flow rate. Did y'all see that? That's awesome. I cannot believe a scale at that price level can do that. That kind of blows my mind. I'm just saying, most scales are like, they can do that or show that type of data are way more expensive. Lots of crema. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Okay. Let's put in the refractometer. Okay. Yeah, way better shot. Okay. Yeah, I can only imagine what that other one would have come up on the refractometer. 12.75, perfectly in the espresso range. You know, right above 8 to 12 tends to be a pretty good espresso range. All right, cheers. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Let's give it a little taste. Oh, man. That is really good. So again, Nicaraguan, a single origin, good as gold, great shot. The donut store is good. I do get good results at the donut store, but that bag was a little bit older than most of the time when they sent it to me. I'm going to tell you one kind of pro tip. I have reached out to them before via Amazon and let them know when that happens, and sometimes they'll send me out a new one. I've had that happen, so I'm not saying it's going to happen every time. Don't say, hey, Tony said this from, you know, such and such, but they are a really good company. I'm very thankful to have the coffee they give at the price point they give. So I really appreciate that. I want to throw a lot of support for them. They are not a paid sponsor. That is not how that works. Guys, I am a small YouTuber. I do not have paid sponsors. Every now and then, companies will send some stuff for me to do reviews on. That's what happened with that mobile espresso unit. But it's not, you know, it's not one of those things where, you know, no money's ever exchanged hands. That's not what I do. So let's go ahead. Who says, should I open up the mobile espresso unit and give it a shot for the first time? I mean, I'm kind of getting tempted now. You know, I'm getting a little tempted. You guys want me to check it out? So let's see here. Now, I'm going to be doing a full video this weekend on this. So this is really kind of my first time even opening this thing. And I will do, yeah, you guys will see a full video. So I just say that because, you know, this is not the proper review situation. This is like me literally trying something for the absolute first time unvarnished. And I will do that with you because I like going live. Okay. All righty. So the scale is really cool. Let me show you the scale really quick. This scale is only $30, and I am super impressed. The manufacturer makes commercial scales for the shipping community, people that do actual commercial shipping, I think meat packing and stuff. So here's the back of it. Let's see if I get it in the camera. It's TIPRE, and go to my Amazon storefront. I have some links for it. I'm going to be doing a full video just on this in a little bit. But yeah, for $30 to get that where it has the flow rate, I love the size. Like that's my number one thing I'm loving. I love the fact that it fits right there. and I just dig that. My other skills that, whoa, dropping stuff here, that do that is like my dye fluid, and that's one of them. But I mean, those things, they're expensive. Like, there's just no other way to say it. So, you know, great scales. I'm going to recommend dye fluid forever. But dye fluid has an app, connects to your phone, and this does not have an app. It's not Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth. But for $30 to get that, that's crazy. I'm digging it. All right, so cool. Let me go ahead. Again, live video. You can hear my doggies. Their mama just got home, so they go nuts. I'm going to be doing a full video on this, y'all. So like I said, this is not a full thing. This is just kind of, I'm with y'all. We're live. I don't even know if this has a full charge. So this is one I've been seeing a lot online. This is the COTGCO, and I want to say they're a French company, and they do, like, they make jackets with heaters and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool, but they're getting into making coffee stuff. So, you know, that's my world right there. And I'm down with that. All right, let me go ahead and get this opened up. All right, so we have the unit right here. This is an all metal construction. Comes with a USB Type-C. That's where you get your charge. And what really made me excited about this is the fact that it uses, you could buy another adapter for doing your own coffee. And of course, that's what gets me excited. So first off, I'm going to tell you this. I'm really stoked. This is what's crazy. It has a really good build on it. Like I said, all metal. The inside, actually heating element, the bottom is metal, but I do see that there is some plastic that's food grade on the inside. I know some people are a little worrisome about that. That is something to think about, but you got all metal up top. The brew chamber is plastic. Okay. So check this out. So here is what most people who tend to buy these units do. I'm going to open this up here. So this is the chamber. I really like how it breaks down. So that's awesome. This can do cold brew and hot brew. But most folks are going to get this because opening it up, you can put the Nespresso pods, original Nespresso pods. And that's cool. I like Nespresso pods. My son used them for a really long time before I got him his own real machine. In an office setting, I'm always for having, if you could have espresso, that's cool. I'm not going to at all poo-poo having coffee through pods, because I do think that is a way that a lot of people do consume coffee. And hey, they're having some good stuff. But it's always going to be better to just make it yourself, have fresh coffee, do it proper, and have the good stuff. So here is why I got so excited about this. I showed this earlier in the video, but I'm showing you guys who joined now. This chamber is completely for doing your own ground coffee. They even include a puck screen. So that's awesome. On the manufacturer's website, they even have a funnel and a tamper that you can use with this. Thankfully, I tried to buy a tamper to work with my flared Neo Flex, and it was too big, but it actually fits pretty well with this unit. So I'm going to go ahead and try this out, just because I feel a little crazy right now. I'm with y'all. This thing also heats water, or you could use your own kettle. It does the cold brew, like I mentioned, so that's pretty cool. I'm just reading the comments here. Funky Fruit Tunes, love that name. So Funky Fruit Tune says automatic burr grinder versus hand crank. Can the hand crank achieve the same consistency? Oh man, you just asked one of my favorite questions. So I'm going to give you a great answer. Yes. 100%. This is the Timor Chestnut C3 Pro. I used this for 6 months straight to do all my espresso. I am a cheapskate. I've said this before, guys. I like to find the cheapest ways to do stuff. Okay, there's just no other way to say it. I just realized something here. Um, I was about to spin this and show this to you guys, but I had it locked in. Yeah, because I had just pulled the burrs out to show it on one of my videos. But this thing has one of the smoothest, just grinds out there. There's a lot of good hand grinders that could definitely achieve espresso. And if you are kind of cutting your teeth and you're trying to figure out what you want to do for the first time, if you're willing to use your muscles to make coffee, then 100% is achievable. Would I recommend it completely? No. Like in a cafe, that would never work. But on a go, like making mobile coffee, that's perfect. I have the Mavo Fantex, which does really great with espresso. I have the Timor Chestnut 2. My son uses that as his daily driver to make his espresso. So yeah, definitely achievable. It's just the work. Yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. So let's go ahead. This does it says 12 to 16. I'm going to go with 12. So I'm going to put 12 in here. Let me show you the chamber. I think this is pressurized. I can't confirm it until I use it. But just because of the way this is coming out, I'm going to bet 99% sure this is a pressurized basket. So I don't want to go too fine because I definitely don't want to choke it. But I also want to treat this like I would any other machine. So I tend to just always use unpressurized bottomless filters. But for the sake of what this is something you're going to be having on the go. I'm kind of stoked about this. So totally cool. So let me go ahead. Let's measure out some beans. And I'm actually going to use the donut store beans I was using before, not the single origin beans, because I know I can go a little coarser with them anyway. So let me go ahead and measure that out. Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing too. You don't have to break the bank. If you're looking for a great grinder that you're not going to break the bank on, this bad boy on sale goes for $140. I picked it up for $145. Right now it's sitting at $169. 64 millimeter flat burr grinder. This is the Chardor. I actually replaced it with MP burrs. So I took the stock burrs, which are totally fine burrs, and I put some MP burrs in there. Not SSP, because I cannot afford SSP. It's like $200 plus for a good burr set. I went with generic burrs, which are copies or knockoffs. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that. They sell them on Amazon for I think I got mine for about $40. But I'm really happy I did it. I did a video on that. So if you're ever looking to go electric and not go too expensive, that's a good place to start. There's a lot of good affordable ones out there, but yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with using a hand grinder. I love my hand grinders. All right, so I'm just zeroing this out. Okay, like I said, we're going to do 12. And I'm going to use that donut store. I might not even change my grind size on this a bit, just because I am using pressurized. So all that just came out so fast, that might not be bad for this. So crazy that I'm going to use a flat burr grinder to do it, but hey, it's all good. You can never go overkill too much when you're in your home office. Yeah, I love how fast this scale picks up the weight too. There, almost there. I just don't want to go over. I'll leave it at that. 11.7. I do tend to find that a lot of these mobile units, you do not want to overfill them. You guys don't want a pressure problem. When you're working with something like the Gemini or the Turnt Legato or the Apex or a Gevi or Hybrew, yeah, you're not gonna. You never want to choke your machine on purpose, obviously, But if you do, I've done it. That's okay. It happens to all of us. But with these machines, you definitely gotta have a little more love and care. If there's any machine that's gonna break down because you choke it, it will be a mobile machine. I guarantee it. 100%. But yeah, that's kind of the price you pay when you go mobile. All right, so did some RDT here. I'm just reading your comment here. So you're saying you notice that your pucks are super sour on scrapping machine. That's awesome. Using puck screens of filters in the bottom. You look at the grind size with pressurized portafilter. Awesome. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Yeah, if you're getting something that is soupy or sour, then yeah, you definitely that's exactly what you would want to look at. Is look at your grind size. That's going to be it for sure. Sometimes, like I mentioned, you can go too fine where you choke the machine, but sometimes there's that kind of middle point where you're in a good area. So there's that. I personally am not a huge fan of filters. I just did a video where I use filters for the first time in like months. I don't think there's anything wrong with filters. I just like to have and some people really like fines are like a naughty word, like, oh no, too many fines. I like my espresso gritty. I know that sounds crazy. I like a thick mouthfeel, and some people don't. I tend to go with more fine, wanting that clarity over my pour overs. I'll fuss about that, but espresso tends not to be like that for me. I try not to fuss too much about it. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what y'all like. Never gonna say that, but I'm telling you, I tend to not do that too much. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour my coffee into this because I just realized I didn't have my dosing cup here. I left it in my kitchen. All right, let's go ahead and get this out. And I am going with that thicker grind size that I did before that didn't get the good results because honestly, it's probably going to be better for using pressurized. Almost there. Yeah, this is only 12 grams, so it should be pretty fast. And honestly, I might not even use all of it. That's the crazy part. Hey, Nicholas. Cool. Yeah, so Nicholas had a question. Can I do a video with the DeLonghi comparison to other coffee espresso machines? That is a great question. I have my DeLonghi ECP right over here, and I have actually been thinking about, and I keep telling my wife I'm going to do this because I have to take over the kitchen one weekend. I was thinking about putting all my budget machines in my kitchen and just doing like a knockout comparison into all of them. I have like 10 different budget machines, and I'm going to give you guys a big spoiler here. My favorite budget machine of all time is still the DeLonghi. I love the ECP. I love the fact that it's a boiler at that price point, and it's going to get your whole group head's going to be nice and hot. If anyone is new to espresso, it's one of the best machines hands down to start with. So yeah, I love my DeLonghi. I don't have a funnel that necessarily fits this, but I did notice that when I put my 51 DeLonghi funnel right on top, this actually works. It's crazy. Pretty close. Oh man, went all in there. Let me give it a little tap, and then we'll goof around with it, do a little WDT here, and then we'll tamp it down. Just giving a little tamp, just a little tap, I should say. So that's crazy. That's a 51 millimeter, and that's what's kind of cool. And I thought was a little promising on this one. It wasn't super small. I don't know the exact millimeter for this, but I believe this is a 48 or 46, and this comes pretty close to fitting. So the manufacturer does have their own system that comes with a tamper. And then I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a hack here in just a moment. Doing my WDT. So I'm just gonna give it a little WDT. Again, this is a pressurized basket. I'm very sure. It would shock me if this wasn't pressurized. Um, but I probably wouldn't even need to do this, but I'm gonna do it. I am an espresso nerd. It would feel weird not to do it. Give it a little tap again. Okay. Show you guys what I'm working with here. Let me move this out of the way just for a moment because I need the space. Then I'll bring back the scale here. Okay. So here is the coffee. But I'm going to show you guys, this is what's crazy. Okay. So this middle piece fits perfectly as a tamper. Like, it's kind of goofy. It's like an included tamper. And I'm telling you, on the manufacturer's website, they don't say anything about using this as a tamper. Whoop, I pulled some up. Maybe it's not a perfect fit, but I'm a little shocked because that's something I would say. I don't know if it's because they want to sell the tamper that they sell with their kit. That's gonna be my guess. But I'm just saying, how crazy is that, right? Let me show you all. So again, probably not the most perfect tamper in the world, but here's the tamper that I have I think this is a 46. There would be a lot of play in there. So I'm going to take that. I actually think it's a big win. I would really like to get my hands on the actual tamper. So just trying to remember. Here it is. Here's the puck screen. Again, this one comes with a puck screen right up top. Puck screen in there. This is why I didn't want to overfill it because I knew I was going to be putting the puck screen in. Okay. And again, if you guys are really interested in this, I'm going to do the comparison video with the other unit that I have from the other manufacturer that looks extremely similar. I think there are two companies selling the exact same thing, basically. So I'm just going ahead and screwing the top on. Just don't want to knock anything around with all that time and stuff I just put into it. Going to line this up. Okay. Snap it in. And then the rest is just going to be filling the water and heating it up. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use one of my cups. I'm not going to use the included cup to do that. So I really want to make sure I have the right amount of water up top. So I'm actually going to use this scale. Okay. Test this scale out completely. I am going to do, it can do up to 40 and 60 milliliters. I am probably going to do a little bit over 21 grams of water. That's what I'm thinking. Have a little bit for steam. I don't want to go too much. It's 22. Yeah. And everybody, guys, I've watched a lot of review videos on this. A lot of people that are reviewing these are folks that are not. Actually, I'll go just a tiny bit more. Let's take it to 30, 29.6. A lot of the folks reviewing it are like tech people. I could tell they don't know too much about coffee, and that's okay. But they put 40, 60 in there. They kind of go the whole thing. So, yeah, don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the top right on it. Okay, and then we're going to set this. Now, this is the other kind of cool thing about it. If you want to use the included cup, it fits perfectly on here. But if you tilt it a little bit to the side, you could actually use the unit. And maybe we'll do it this time so I don't have to hold it. So let's go ahead. Let's turn this on. I believe it's a long press. Here we go. It says takes 2 to 3 minutes. So this is actually taking the coffee from the cold point straight to boiling. So I'm very excited to test this out here. I'm reading your comment. Coffee and watches. That's awesome. Yeah, I have a lot of friends and family that watch me, and it's just funny to me because I do sometimes think my family thinks I'm crazy, and my friends. Uh, this is my work at home office, okay? You guys are all literally sitting in my work at home office. I've said this before. My day job, I'm a department head of a commercial insurance company, so it's crazy because I'll go from working to making coffee, and sometimes I'll be in meetings and they'll say, "What's that sound?" I'm like, "I'm pulling espresso shots," and they just like laugh, like, "You got to be kidding me!" Oh my goodness. I'm gonna move this over and I'm gonna zero this out over here because I want to test it afterwards to see how much water was actually produced. And I could hear it steaming and boiling up there. So that's good. My dogs are going crazy. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, you know what? I worked as a barista in college at a cafe, and I got hooked, and it's just crazy. I've shared this before for years. I didn't make coffee at home, not espresso. Did a lot of pour over, Chemex, that type of thing, mocha pot, and oh, there it goes. Let's see here. So here it's actually going through, pulling the shot. You can see right here in the bottom. Wasn't too long. Let's see how this looks. I'm not expecting a crema beast. I just want it to taste good. Okay, so I did put in about 30 grams of water. It does have an auto stop, so if anyone's new and they're kind of afraid putting too much, it does have an auto stop. Okay, let's put it on the scale. Remember, I tiered it out. 8.9. Ugh. That's a lot of water difference. Oh my goodness. Let me open the top and look inside of it. I'm sure there's a lot of water in the chamber. It's actually empty up top. So it kind of tells me the puck probably soaked up all the goodness. So I bet once I try to clear that puck, it's going to be pretty saturated. That's my guess. That's like, 2/3 of the water. Something to think about there. So you might have to, if you're going to be using your own coffee, you might have to, make sure that's maybe do that 40 milliliters. Let's give it a little taste. No crema, but I'm going to give it a little taste. Dang, that is strong. Oh my gosh. Whoa. This is like one of the most intense, strong shots. I'm not going to call that pleasant. Woo! That will put hair on your chest. That is not good. If I was going to get that shot, I would put it into some hot water and make it Americano. It's tastes a good shot. This was the last shot I pulled. Not from this, remember, from my Gemini. Ooh, clear that out. Cleans out that palate with better espresso. Guys, I'm going to be doing a full review video comparing the two different machines. Like I said, I kind of have a feeling they're manufactured by the same company, but being sold by a couple different companies. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe it was just another subsidiary of the main company. So I don't know. Sometimes some of these manufacturers, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I'm not poo-pooing on it, but look at Gemini, okay? I love this machine. Gemini is a great company. Gemini sells their machine under Torrent Legato. It is Torrent Legato. It's not Gemini, but Gemini does the manufacturing. Me Coffee Apex, and in different regions, depending on where you're at in the world. I know in Europe, I love my Owl 3006. I know in Europe, oh man, what is it called? I know in Spain, someone was sharing with me that's in Spain, and they were saying it's called a different machine. And that's very common. I don't typically find the same machine in the States where it does that, but a lot of these manufacturers kind of use the same folks. It's like Wersch and Toonie have very similar designs. And the new Casa Brews 3007 GS or something, it looks a lot like the Toonie. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. I wanted to just show you guys the puck, do a little bit of a puck diagnosis. I'm going to get this puck screen out. Okay. and I'm going to show this to you, and I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm not shocked, okay? This is why I'm doing a full video later on, because, this is my first attempt, and that was not a good one. Look at that. Soupy, tons of liquid, nasty. That's the best way to put it. It's a lot to knock out. Ooh, man. I don't want to have to use a spoon, but I might have to. That tells you something. There's a lot of different things like factors. Like it could be the grind size, it could be my tamping, it could be a bajillion things. It could be the unit itself, but I doubt that. It's probably human error. There's no other way to say it. But yeah, guys, I didn't want to do it this way, but sometimes you got to get down and dirty. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. But that's okay. Like I said, I'm going to refine it a little bit and goof around with it before I do my full review later on this weekend. But if you guys are interested, definitely check it out. I have the 2 different machines. I even have a couple other machines that I've done videos on in the past. I have one of them right here. So this is one of my first mobile machines. Got some dust on it because I just don't use it very much. Do not think it's a bad machine. I've used it. This one you can use regular grounds, but I'm going to tell you the chamber's super small, and it's not like this. Yeah. So the ratio I was doing, yeah, great question. It was 12 grams because recommended is 12 to 16. I actually could have probably put the full 16 in there. So here is, let me show you guys a crazy comparison, okay? This is what's nuts. Here is the chamber on this machine. And let me find a 51 millimeter. Yeah, here's a 51 millimeter for DeLonghi. So if you could see, it's pretty close to a 51. So you're really going to probably be able to get some good results with this. I know MH Bomber has a really good mobile espresso unit they just put out. And I know that Hybrew has a really good one. And the big one that I've been trying to get, guys, is the Star Seeker unit. It's a 58 millimeter mobile system, non-pressurized. I'm not sure 100%, but I think you could swap the baskets. To me, that's kind of like the holy grail of, not to be irreverent, but of mobile espresso, is that 58. Now, if someone asked me what would be the best mobile espresso unit that's going to be 58, I'm going to say go Flare. Or that new Flare that I had the Neo over here, but that new one that's metal, that I want to say the chamber is the same size as the Neo. It's still a little bit smaller, but it's going to get a great experience. Yeah, cool. I was just stoked the fact that that was included, and I saw the puck screen. I got excited. So I cannot wait to put this thing through the paces and see what I could do with it. Because like I said, I'm going to be really pushing this thing and see what I could do. Because I want to get some good results from it and try it on the other one. Just stoked. Okay. But yeah, guys, definitely super excited. So definitely keep tuned on that. I have some more things that are coming pretty soon. We're going to be doing some reviews on. I have a couple mobile grinders that are not Timor. I love Timor, but they're not Timor that I'm going to be doing. And if you're into mobile grinders that are powered, I just did a video, and this is another awesome one. I just did a video on this bad boy. Move him out of the way. This is the Whirly. And the Whirly, I'm going to tell you right now, it's awesome. I really love the Whirly. The same... basically, it's very similar. The Whirly actually has a bigger burst set than the C3 Pro, but there's that new one that just came out, and there's a couple of my fellow YouTuber folks that have it, and I've been so jonesing to get one, and I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying to get it, but they just came out with the, what is it called? The Timor S5 something. Anyway, guys, my wife is calling dinner. I gotta go. Y'all have a great weekend. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell notification. just so you guys see when I drop a video. Love all the ones that came and hang with me today. You guys have a good weekend. Happy Friday.